Okay, this is part 2 of my top 3 of each category, Asian Beauty Edition. And now we are talking about lips and cheeks. We have so much made up categories. Well, not made up, but you know, recent years lips and cheeks are so popular, so there are a lot of different categories than ones we had before. But I do have 3 lip categories and 2 blush categories and I think I have 4 lip categories and 2 blush categories and 1 highlighter categories to talk about. Let's go for the cheeks first. Let's put on some, because I desperately want to put on some color on my cheeks. First of all, the cream ones. I actually have 3 very unique ones. I don't really have a ranking out of all these 3 because they are so different. The first one is from Hince. This is a powder and cream duo, and I actually have 2 shades, but I'm too lazy to pick that one up. But that one was a nude color, and this one was like a purple with a nude color, which is so like special. I never see people pair like a nude color with like a purple in this type of concept. And what I like about this is because this is a drier cream blush, because I feel like nowadays there's so many super glossy cream blush, but not everybody loves the very shiny cheek type of look. They might want the, you know, the blendability of a cream blush and how well it works with a lot of base product, like it melts so seamlessly, but they might not want the super glossy look, like I said. And in that way, I think Asian cream blush is the choice for you, because they often don't have the super glossy finish. You know, it's almost matte, right? And I also have this super special one. It's from the brand Girlcult. And this, I don't know what this you know, this line is called, but the shade is 18. And I only have Chinese here. It's called 情绪系列腮红, and the shade name is 黑肤啊, which I have no idea how to translate. It's like maybe mood serious blush in the shade black. I don't even know how to translate the word 肤啊. So let's just skip that. And it's this like embossing is like a sun, maybe? Is that the sun? I think it is. And it looks like chocolate, right? I almost want to eat it. But it's this color changing blush. It changed to this like rosy pinky type of shade, which is actually so cute. A lot of people with like a goth makeup style really like this. I have seen a couple people on TikTok use this. That's why I purchased it. It's actually pretty easy to blend, even though it's like a black blush. And that one is a satiny matte finish as well. And this one is from Judydoll. I think Judydoll is such great price and such great quality. And this is just their single, I don't know, it's in Chinese. It's 单色腮红膏. It probably just means like a single colored cream blush. It's just a simple name as that. And I have shade 06. Actually, I could have been buying like a deeper shade. That's another thing about like East Asian brands. If you want paler and cooler tone shade, you for sure can find it in the Asian, you know, makeup brands. And I also have this one from Flower Nose. I haven't used this one much, so I can't say I recommend this that much or not. But this shade is again like milky pink shade that has like a matte finish. So really, if you want a matte cream blush, I think you can look at Asian brand more. And today I want to use this Judydoll one, and I will layer some powder blush on top. It really is, for me, a little bit too light, so you might not even be able to see it on the camera. But I actually think this formula is very great, so I am planning to buy a much deeper shade. Again, I think this shade can only work for people that have super pale cool toned skin. But I do enjoy to mix this one with some other shades that I think it might be a little bit too bright. Okay, that's it. You can barely see. I'm just showing the texture. I'm just trying to show you the texture. It's like very smooth and it doesn't really add extra glow to your face. Let's talk about powder blush. The number one actually is from SUQQU. Originally my number one would be the melting powder blush from SUQQU, but those ones are discontinued for like maybe a year, and they recently came out with these blurring color blush, which these ones are not similar formulas as the melting blush, but they apply like the effect on your skin. It's almost the same. It melts into your skin. And I have the shade 123, 01, 02, 03. And I want to mix two of them today. So like the shopping assistant recommend me to do, I'm gonna apply this pinky shade on the outer perimeter of my face, which is so different than what I normally do. I always apply pinkier, cooler tone shade on the center, not on the perimeter. But I actually find this way it's so cute. It like, I don't know, it looks so fresh. I actually really like it. And this shade, the shade 01, you would think this shade is so light, it probably barely show up, but it actually does. And it's such a fresh baby pink. I really like this shade. And the shopping assistant recommended me to blend it with the number 2. This is like yellowy nudie type of shade, and she said to use it on the apple of the cheeks. So again, normally I would put this type of shade on the outer perimeter and use the pink inside. But one thing is, my skin is like olive skin tone, right? So if I put the pink on the center, it's such a bigger contrast with my skin tone. So sometimes I can find it look weird, but by it applying this way, you can still see the pink hint on my face. But because on the center where the attention, you know, where people's eyes, it's a less of a contrast with my natural skin tone. So I feel like this way it almost looks more natural. And these formulas are just so easy to blend and so easy to apply, and they are actually smoothing on the face. So that's why I didn't set my face with powder, because I know these are just gonna help set my face. Yeah, I really like this formula. And the second one actually goes to Kaleidos. These blush are so good. The formula, again, so creamy and so easy to blend. And this color, you would think it's not much darker than the like the cream blush, right? So you might think it doesn't show on my skin, but it actually does. So I don't know what's magic, the magic is in this, but yeah, it looks very, very fresh on my skin, and it actually shows up. I have a video that I was trying this on. You can look at that video. But yeah, it looks so fresh and it pairs so well with the cooler toned eye makeup and such. I find that this type of pink, in China we call this like eraser pink because a lot of erasers are in this color. This is actually a pretty popular color in China, and yeah, I really like this color. It works well even for my warm olive undertone. I really like it. One thing about East Asian brands is they all work well for olive skin tone because that's the majority here. And the last one, I think this one is the most popular amongst all of them. This is the rom&nd Better Than Cheek blush, and I have 3 shades. I think this shade Bare Chip, I think, is the one that most viral on TikTok. Again, I have a video that I was trying this on. It was again such a creamy formula. I feel like it's almost pointless to swatch all of these because you wouldn't be able to see, but somehow they show up on your face. And it's so easy to blend, and I think this is probably the brand that's easier to get for like at other countries, and it's very, very affordable. I think it's just a couple dollars, and again there are so many shades. I think they could still do some deeper shades for people with deeper skin tone, because even Asian, we can go super deep. Even for me, you can see me right now, you wouldn't think I have deeper skin tone, but if I am just throwing myself outside for a month straight, I can be 6 shades dark. Asian people really can really easily. So our skin range can start all the way from like white people and can almost end at black people. It's not like we go like super like as dark as black people do, but we could reach the range that inside the black people. So I don't know why we are always only East Asian brands specifically only creating shades for super light skinned people. It's like 2024, we can throw away the beauty standard of having pale skin, right? It's way in the past, because in the past, people don't have to go outside and work, are the rich people. So basically, I feel like a lot of beauty standards just start from people wanting to look rich. But right now, I don't even think you see someone super pale and you think, oh, they must be rich. You don't think that way, right? So this beauty standard doesn't even make sense right now. So I think it's a time that we ditch that and we create a shade range that's much deeper than this, because even East Asian can go super dark. Okay, that's a random brand. Okay, the third one, it's highlights. For highlight, I have 3. The first one, it's actually so hard to rank these 3, so maybe let's just not rank. Let's just talk one by one. There's no ranking here. This first one is again from Kaleidos. C Beauty highlighters is just so special. I find them have the shine of the Western highlights. Like they are super like beaming type of almost eyeshadow level of shine, but they don't have that fake texture. I hate the texture those super intense highlights give, but these don't have that. These like they only have the shine, but they don't have the texture. It's actually kind of weird. I also have 2 from Flower Nose, and again, these are pretty high shine. You can barely see because they're so white. They're throwing off the white balance of the camera. But yeah, I think this angle you can see. This one is more, it has a blue shift, and this one is more gold. These are all so intense, but they don't really give you the texture. And I'm gonna carefully only swatch on this region because I don't want to mess up with this compact, this embossing. And again, you can see it's like almost eyeshadow level of sheen, but on the face it's just not chunky. And also this embossing is like insane, right? I also have a review on my channel of this, but this is from Flower Nose Little Angel Collection Embossed Highlighter in the shade L03 Chanting Anthem. And the blue shift one is L04 Moon River. And I also have a balm. This balm one is a dupe for the Chanel Balm Essentiel. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but yeah, this is a dupe. I think they even have a dupe for each shade from that Chanel line, and I personally have the shade Lightening or Lighting, just Lighting. I think this is the, I don't remember the shade name, but the shade with clear base but has some glitter in the formula. Like there is a shade in Chanel like that. And I don't know if you can even tell, but they have this like natural balmy glow. The camera keep focusing on my face. Can you see there? Okay, I'll show you this balm on this cheek maybe. Really ever so slightly giving you this sheen. It's almost like if you apply this on top of a powder blush, it almost like turning that powder blush into a cream blush. And on the other cheek, I want to use this Flower Nose one. Let's just use my finger because I find fingers work well anyways. I don't know if you can tell, it's like so intense. I didn't even apply that much, but it doesn't really have that thick texture. I really like it. Let's just layer this Kaleidos one on top. This is the shade. I don't know which one is the name of the line and which one is the shade name, but it's this one. Let's also use fingers for this one. Like, see how intense it is, and it's not chunky, even layering on so many different product and underneath, like another highlight and 2 powder blushes and 1 cream blush, and all on top of that. It's not chunky, it's just not chunky. Okay, I think that's it for the cheek. We can go on for lips. Okay, the first one is lip plumper, and I only have 2, and I don't think this is an official ranking as well because I have only tried 2 from Asian Beauty, but both of these 2 are very good. This one is from Visee. It's their Essence Lip Plumper, and in the shade SP001. It's basically a dupe for the DEWY the lip maximizer. Is that what it's called? And I have used up 1 or 2 of the DEWY one, and it's basically the same. Really, it basically is the same. Even the slight minty scent is almost identical. So yeah, if you like that one and you want to have a more affordable option, this one is for you. And another one is my recent favorite. Is from Natural Republic Honey Melting Lip in the shade 11 Tint Plumping. It's a plumping lip gloss that has like those color shifting formulas that's gonna turn pink after a certain amount of time. And what I really like about this formula is it's super filling on your lips. You can see how shiny it is on the lips, right? And you can barely see my lip lines, which I have a lot of lines today because I was eating Chinese buns with the Chinese vinegar. The one thing about the black Chinese vinegar is they are so strong. They have such concentrated, I don't know the name of the ingredient, but what make vinegar, you know, the acid in it was so strong that my lip, every time my lip got burned. But you can see it's instantly filled into the lines and it's just so shiny. I don't know about the shade on itself though, but I love this cool toned pinky shade layering on a nudie lip on the center. It looks so great. It's my recent favorite. And that's the lip plumper category and official category. And now let's move on to lip tint. And I have 3 all from Korean beauty because I just feel like Korean beauty are such they started the lip tint category, I think, and they evolved so much from that. I still think nowadays the best lip tints are largely from Korean brands, even though of course like other brands from other countries do great lip tints as well, but yeah, top 3 are from them. The first one is this one. I don't think these are necessarily the most viral on TikTok. The most viral ones are probably from rom&nd, but I personally love this one the most. It's the Ink Mood Glowy Tint, and I have the shade 01 and 03. Apparently, according to some Korean makeup artist on TikTok, the shade 03 is actually the best seller, and not only from this brand is PERIPERA, but also like almost among this big category, like all lip tints, this shade is the best selling one. I don't know, I heard that from somewhere. It might not be true, but actually my personal favorite is the one, the 01 shade. This is a peachy shade. I personally like a peachy shade better. Let's apply both of them. This peachy shade at the bottom and the shade 03 on the top. This is a peachy pink shade, like a rosy shade, and like you can see it's much pinkier. And I'm just gonna blend these together a bit because it looks weird. Okay, blended together, I actually really like this shade as well. And what I love about this is because these are such hydrating formulas, your lip won't feel dry. It's almost feel like a thicker lip oil. You can also tell they're so shiny. So sometimes if I don't want to layer a gloss on top, I'll just use this because, you know, it's not drying, it's moisturizing, it's tinting, and it's also high shine. It's like all in one. So that's why it's #1 in my personal opinion, and they're so comfortable, and they are also so affordable, and they have so many shades, so many shades. I wouldn't say like every shade you want you can find in their shade range, because I find there's one thing from Korean lip tints or lip tints in general, is like there's always just like these type of shades. They might be make more varieties out of these like particular shades, but they will not go far from these. You know what I mean? There's always reds, oranges, like rosy toned nudes, and they just make this slightly purple, slightly lighter, slightly darker, you know. They always in this same range of shade. So yeah, I can't say every shade you want, you can find them in their line, but they surely have a lot of shades. The next one, it's the brand Laka. And actually their lip tints are so popular in Japan. Every time I go to the store, their testers are always empty because that many people were testing it. And I have Fruity Glam Tint, and this is the shade 103 Humming. And let me try it on for you. So one thing about this line is you can see the swatch for 1 second and say, oh, this is the shade that I love, therefore I'm gonna get this shade. It gets so much darker. Like as I was speaking for like 20 seconds, it already changed a lot, right? It's gonna become even darker from this. So you're gonna have to expect the shade be much deeper and more reddish than the swatch on the websites. So you either just expect that and you choose much lighter shades, or you have to go in person to try it, which outside of Asia is probably hard. You have to just maybe look for more swatches, especially swatches of people on people's lips and for a long time, like after the color has fully changed. And I think right now it's pretty much set, the shade. It's like a rosy, deeper rosy shade, which is very different than what it was. Like, well, somehow swatch on the back of my hand, it looks so similar than on the lips, but I'm gonna wipe half of it off and just freshly apply it. Like, it's not the same shade, right? It's so much nudier on this side, so you can't just swipe it on and decide that this is the shade you want. It's gonna become much reddish and much darker. And again, as I am talking, this already become darker, which this is actually a thing happens to the vast majority of lip tints. But I don't find these ones do it as extreme. These ones are probably one of the worst ones if you consider this a bad thing. But personally, I really like this because how shiny it is. I don't know if you can tell, but in real life it's so shiny. And sometimes if you give it a longer time, it can even develop in a much more glossy finish. It's like they're filming a film on top, therefore it's like such a glossy, smooth layer on top. I really like this formula as well. The thing is, they have so much different colors and they look different initially on your lips, but when you apply for a longer time, they all end up looking something like this, a little bit darker or a little bit less dark. Like, it's all pretty much this. Okay, I need to wash my hands once again. Okay, the third one of the lip category is actually the one that's most viral, I think. This is the rom&nd Dew Full Water Tint, and in the shade 12. I actually first didn't really like this one that much because I thought it wasn't really high shine and the color is kind of just normal. Like, it's not special. But I recently really becoming such a fan of this formula because it's, how to say, it's easy to layer with other shades, because if you already have such a glossy base, it's hard to layer something else on top. It's gonna look so gooey. So I really want to throw in one option that is not so glossy, so you can layer this maybe with some lip liners, so you won't make your lip liners like come off because how glossy it is. And if you want to layer some other colors on top, you can easily do that as well. My favorite way of using this is layer with this Nature Republic lip plumper. So it has like a, you know, a freshness, like a fresh pink tint at the center. I like that way the most. The lighting just keeps changing because it's in the afternoon. So the next one, before moving on to the next category, I just want to briefly mention this one product. It's from Girlcult. again, a Chinese brand, and their lip tint just have such unique shade range. The one that I have is a green lip tint. I'm gonna show you. Like, it's really is green. And they also have like black and stuff like that, and like brown, like truly cool toned brown. So yeah, if you really like weird, you know, quite weird colors, like goth colors, I think you might want to check on this brand. I think this brand is really so goth. I feel like if you want to ever cosplay Poison Ivy, I think this could be the lip tint that you need. Otherwise, I don't know what occasion you're gonna use this, but I personally think this is so unique and I actually really like it. Actually, the official photo of this one is not this shade, it's like a reddish brown. So this was supposed to change to a reddish brown, and you can see it's starting to change, but it never grow out of this green tint as the official picture does. So it's kind of like weird. If you don't really want the green tint, obviously don't choose this one. But yeah, I just thought it's such an option that it's just such a unique option that you don't see much in other brands. And the packaging is also like how well thought the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. One thing I really like C Beauty is just how, you know, thoughtful their packaging is. A lot of times different shade, even they are the same line, like the same blush, eyeshadow or whatever, they're gonna have different packagings for different shades. And also you can see my lips are really green. These are just tints, like it doesn't come off, it's green. I think there was one project pan update on my channel I did right after reviewing this lip tint, and I had to do that whole project pan update with the green lips. And I can't get it off, it's so strong. So it might not be a great choice to do this before I you know, finish this whole video, and because we are here, I thought I want to mention one lip liner options. Again, this is not official category because I haven't tried that much lip liners from Asian brands, but this is from rom&nd and it's their lip matte pencil. It's basically the name, it's a matte lip pencil. It's in the shade 05. It's like such a cool toned nude shade, and I have seen so many Western people talks about lip shades has become so much warmer and peachier and orange over the years that you can rarely find a true cool toned lip liner. Well, go to like Asian brands and check, because Asian brands have all these cool toned options, and I want to cover up my lip with this lip pencil. Oh, now it looks gray. It really looks like concrete. And my teeth look so yellow against it. But normally, okay, if I just normally apply it on my lips, it looks like a cool toned, almost shadow lip. So I think it can also be good if you want to like contour your lips. But I think I probably should be wiping this off because I thought it's gonna be covered the green tint, but it just makes it look like concrete. I think it's because it's not the most pigmented lip liner, which I also really like, because I don't really like a super defined lip line, because my lip line is already pretty defined. Now we are moving on to matte lips. I think this is another category that Asian Beauty is very good at. It's almost so matte, but at the same time it's almost hydrating, which is kind of weird because you would think normally those two don't go together, but somehow Asian brands are able to do it. And I have 3 here. And I don't really have a ranking because I think these two, first of all, they are pretty similar, and this is like a bullet lipstick. I don't think it's like, oh, I don't know how to rank this because these are so different, but I just like gonna show it in random order. This is from Hince. It's their, I don't know, it's this packaging. I don't know the name of these. And I think you can see how creamy it is. It doesn't tug on my lip as well. Actually pretty great coverage. I think you can barely see the green tint on my lip. And it's very smoothing, and it looks actually, of course, not gonna be as hydrating as a lip mask. I'm not saying it's that level, but yeah, it's really feeling like a little bit hydrating, or at least like not drying at all. Yeah, it's just so easy to apply. It's so creamy. I have a little swatch on my hand so you can see how creamy this is, right? I actually recently don't really use bullet lipstick that much, but this one, the formula is really great. And this one is also from PERIPERA. I love a lot of their lip products. They are actually, even though Korean beauty is already pretty much affordable, this one is on the even more affordable range. This is the Mood Matte Tint or something like that. And I have the shade 12. I don't know why, but in the winter I wear a lot of this type of matte lip. And this is the one that I use constantly. I really like this formula. It really low-key feels hydrating. And it's so smooth on the lips as well. Like you can see, it applies like a mousse. Again, how smooth that is. And I also really like this color. And again, I feel like the Korean lips always ended up in this same lip range, and I think this is the shade that's like you can see the most, like the most easy to find maybe. But I also find this shade very easy to use, so I'm not complaining here. The last will be this Kaleidos, I don't know, lip clay maybe, don't know the name. And I have this in the shade, no shade name either. I'm gonna put it on the screen. And this one, it's again, I think this is even smoother and more like hydrating than the PERIPERA one. And look at how smooth that is. I actually really like this color. I just don't use it that much on the daily basis. The reason I put this one in is not only because the texture, like the formula is good, it really is, but also because of the shade range. I think the shade range is more catered to, not catered to maybe, but it's more similar to the Western makeup trend, like in maybe 2016. You know, in that era, everybody was wearing so much makeup, and also the liquid lipstick was at its peak. The shades are so reminiscent of that period of time, and it has such a wide shade range. Not like this. Even though this one has a lot of shades as well, it's pretty much, again, at the same shade range. It's always end up like rosy in some way. But yeah, this Kaleidos line, it's so unique. It has so much unique color, even super cool toned nudes, and up to like almost black, and even green. I think there's like a teal green, I think. So if you want unique colors also with this super smoothing and also hydrating matte lip, I recommend this line. It's really good. I wish I bought a shade that's much more wearable on a daily basis, because recently I don't even wear eye makeup that much, so if I wear this lip it would be too much, too overwhelming for the whole face. My lip looking so rough. The last category we have is lip glosses, and I also have 3 lines for you. The first one is actually again from PERIPERA. Like I said, I just love their lip category. This is their ink lasting lip gloss. This is actually so similar to the for me it's so similar for the Fenty lip gloss, and I actually even like this a little bit better. And apparently this shade, of course the tint on my lip is tinted, so the shade, the swatch on my lip is probably not a very good reference, but this shade 06, apparently this is a good dupe for the Clinique Black Honey. And I have seen some comparison with swatches. It's like really close. Yeah, I really like this formula. It's so hydrating and it's kind of thick, but it's not sticky. It feels like a thicker lip oil. I really like this one, and it's so affordable. And I also have another shade. This is the shade 03. It's more of like a milky rosy shade, and the applicator is like those very big chunky applicator that people love recent years. Again, my lip is tinted, so it's kind of like throwing off the swatch, but you get the idea. It's very high shine and the color is very promising. I think this I actually have every color of this lip gloss because it was on sale in the like a big sale on the website Q10, and these 6 or 5, I think I have another one like in one of my bags probably. 6 of these, which basically is all of the shades, are like not even $30, so you can buy all 6. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. So I just bought like all 6 for like $20 something, and I actually ended up liking all the shades because actually the shades it's not that different. It looks very different, but on the lips it's not very different. Let me maybe swatch 2 of the opposite ones. Maybe these two look pretty different. It's just either pinkier or slightly peachier. That's the difference. Shade 02. It's more of a nudie shade. It's actually a very pretty shade. I like to pair this with a lot of different looks. It actually pairs well with a lot of different looks because it's like, even though it looks so orange, I think it's the cap. The cap looks orange, but the body is like a peachy nude. It's actually more of a like a neutral shade, maybe because of my skin tone, but it looks more neutral on my lips, so it pairs with a lot of different looks. And also these are very high shine. I really like that, and it's like very comfortable. This purpley type of shade, it's the shade 05. You can see it's not that different, it's just slightly pinkier because these are pretty sheer. Let me swatch a little bit for you. This is pretty sheer, right? Like it's actually a pretty thick swatch, and you can see it's not like full pigment or anything. And I think that's why these are so easy to pair with different looks, because they're sheer. And I actually kind of like a sheer lip gloss because the very pigmented one are always easily looking gooey on your lips. And the last one, it's from Flower Nose once again. This is their, I think this is their Unicorn series, and this is in the shade J05. It's just such a pretty nude shade. I really like this one. And the applicator is like such a bouncy petal type of applicator, and I really like this shade as well. And it's so glossy. All of these are so comfortable. You feel the existence of this lip gloss on your lip. It feels like safe, you know, it's protected, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable on your lips, which a lot of lip glosses are. They feel just so thick. They're like making your lips suffocate or something like that. Like But these don't do that. These are like very breathable, but it feels hydrating type of formula. I really like, and I again like the shade. That's all of it, I think. Finally, I can put the camera a little bit further. Okay, that's, I think, if I didn't miss anything, I think that's all of it. My top 3 of each category, Asian Beauty Edition. I hope you enjoyed this. And there might be some category there's, you know, nothing, like contours or bronzers. Because first of all, I don't think bronzer is that much of a thing in Asian beauty, especially East Asian, because you know the beauty standard. Looking tan is not the beauty standard here. That's one reason. And contouring is actually a big trend because, you know, another beauty standard that you got to look slim. You got to have like a very pointy face. But the things I don't do contour. I don't want to look muddy, and I don't think I enjoy doing it either, so I just don't have any recommendations in that category. That's pretty much it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.